but the Manchester City open-top bus parade and one or two things that were said, notably what Jack Grealish said. And are people wrong to criticise Jack this morning? Because it was fun, it was a bit of kidology. A few drinks had been taken. Bernardo Silva includes this in his Instagram story. Grealish is asked what were the secrets of their success against Aston Villa and that incredible comeback win on Sunday. Grealish replied, "Number one, Riyadh, take him off the pitch as soon as possible. He played like Almiron yesterday." Now, was that naughty to throw in the name Almiron? Did it reflect badly on Jack? Was it inappropriate that he threw in the name of a fellow professional? One or two of you getting into, not just one or two of you, from what I can see, a lot of you saying, hang on, that wasn't right. A lot of you saying, calm down, it was nothing. Kev is a big football fan. He's saying, morning guys, Jack Grealish could learn a lot from Almiron. Bit of respect, hard work, humility, likeability. Many of you having your say, like Matt Shilcock. Leave off. I'm not even a City fan, guys. Jack was having a laugh. What's the matter with you in there this morning? So, Simon, maybe as we would expect, some are saying, calm down, it was nothing. Others are saying, no, it was inappropriate.
Yeah, I mean, I liken it, I suppose, to the outcomes or the language used by Guendouzi playing for Arsenal when he was running around telling the Brighton players how much more money he was on than them. That sort of arrogance that somehow people seem to think is okay for footballers to have. If you think that's okay, that's your perspective. I think that there is an etiquette. I think there's a set of standards. I think you can comment on things that relate to you as a footballer. We're pundits. We can sit here and spread it around because we don't have any skin in the game. And there isn't an etiquette that we have to abide by besides the courage of our convictions. There is a professional footballer. You can talk about what he knows. He has no knowledge of Almiron. He doesn't play with him. He doesn't know what kind of personality he is. So he has no right to use him as a lever to advance some sort of parody. And it shows a deep-seated lack of awareness because I really don't think the boy Grealish has pulled up any particular trees. So if he was a world beater, then you'd think to yourself, well, maybe. And even then it's a bit tacky.
Yeah. Well, I think that's very much the line that many are taking this morning when they listen to it, Trevor. Trevor, let's get a couple of calls on. Neil's a Norwich fan who wants his say in this. Neil, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Guys. So what do you make of this outburst, Neil?
As always.
Thank you, Neil. On you go, mate.
Yeah, I think with regards to Grealish, I mean, let's face it, I think Grealish has been a little bit of a prima donna when he was at Villa, and I think, if anything, he's even worse at City because of the elevated sort of status of that club. I think what Trevor has said is absolutely bang on. There are times at heightened emotions, such as when you have just won a Premier League title, when, you're going to say things and there's banter. There is a line that should not be crossed, and you need to check yourself when you're talking about other players, especially players that you don't know about. I think Grealish, I basically think Man City wasted £100 million because my personal opinion is I think they would have won the league whether it had gone there or not. And you can argue that the sort of thing he was brought in to do to help them in things like the Champions League not really worked out for them. I think he's a little bit of a one-trick pony. I always look at him and as a defender, I think, well, he's either going to try and take to the byline with a series of step moves, or he's going to turn back and pass it back.
Right.
He's not like a Bernardo Silva.
But you feel, Neil, it was wrong to throw in the name of another professional?
Yeah, absolutely. He needs to look at himself before he starts mentioning other players, I think.
Fair enough. Neil, thanks for the call. Here's Adam, a Liverpool fan. Adam, good morning. What's your take on it?
I mean, it's not that serious, is it? I mean, Simon just said the whole point about it showed sort of his lack of knowledge and whatnot, but do we actually know if they're friends? Do we actually know if they're from if they're banter amongst each other? Just by making that comment, you're showing your lack of knowledge of the situation. I mean, I think it goes on to a wider issue in society where we have become so sensitive. I mean, he's a footballer. He's not a politician. He's not an MP. It's a bit of banter amongst footballers. It's really not that big of a deal.
Maybe it's banter in the eyes of some, Adam, but is it appropriate?
Well, yes, 100%, because they're footballers. Like, if you're in those circles, you know that there's a lot of banter that goes on amongst footballers, in the change room, and honestly, it shows a bit of personality.
Adam, just going back to what Jack said. I mean, he had a go at Bernardo Silva, just having a joke. He had a go at Mara, saying get him off. I think the time he crossed the line when he said Almiron. There's a thing called karma in life, and it doesn't matter what industry, what work you're in. When you get a little bit too big for your boots, the big man up above clips your wings. And I think that is kind of pushing towards that when you start bringing in other players who've had a disappointing at least half to the season and having a little dig at them. I think for me, it's pretty below the belt.
But you've also missed an important part of that video. I mean, you've seen everything happen in the video, and you've missed an important part where the video ended with Jack Grealish and Bernardo Silva bantering themselves about keeping Jack Grealish on the bench.
Yeah, no, I've seen that. I listened to
But
that
that's
too.
fine. Those are those are teammates, and sticks. You're right to say sticks and stones, but he's taking it. I don't think his manager would be particularly pleased. So shall we move into the territory of when Zinchenko's wife made an observation at a wedding about what was happening to him? And was that banter, or was that someone speaking out of school? There's a balance between no one's sensitive about it. I'm the least sensitive person about what people could and couldn't say. But I do think there's a way to conduct yourself and a way not to. And I think Jack Grealish finds the wrong side of that line regularly. I think he puts himself in the way of this sort of observation.
I think you have too high of standards for footballers.
But you just told me things are banter. Make your mind up.
No, but you took the argument somewhere else about his behaviour during COVID. You mentioned several other things.
He does that often.
And that's where you moved the discussion. I'm responding to that. The point I'm making is I think you have too high of expectations of...
I'll lower my expectations.
I don't think so, Adam. I just look at players, and I've been in and around changing rooms, for 20 odd years, and having a dig at a player from a different team unnecessarily when you're lifting the trophy, I just think it's a bit uncouth.
Listen, Adam, thanks for the call. Trevor, is it fair to ask, would any other player garner this kind of reaction? Does Grealish himself make himself an easy target?
No, I think every player would. I think the fact that he has got history, I think he's getting more of a reaction. But I think that if any player come out and said that about a third-party player, when they're lifting the trophy, they're happy, whether they've had a drink or not, you can have banter with your own teammates. But as soon as you cross that line and start digging out other players for their poor performances, I think you're getting it wrong.
And we should want the highest standards. I mean, Adam's logic is set yourself a low standard and manage to achieve it is hardly the logic that anyone wants to apply, is it?
Yeah. Listen, good shout from you. He's Paraguayan, am I wrong?
He is.
Well remembered. Coming up to 11:15.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.